Hey, this is Dan from MusicXplorer. Today we're here with Tony Black. He's the former bassist of the Marshall Tucker and Artimus Pyle bands. And prior to those bands, Tony was in a band with Buckethead, and he's been on the road supporting acts such as Primus, System of a Down, Skinner, and many others. And Tony is working on his first solo album to be released later this year. Hey Tony, how you doing?
I'm doing real good. How are you?
Pretty good.
I appreciate you having me here. And I've been doing some recording with them because I've been working on a jazz album also. You mentioned a second ago that I am doing a kind of a country folk album under the name Anthony Edward Black, my full name. But I'm also working on kind of a modern jazz project under the name of Black Arts Ensemble. And I've got Jeff Sipe on that, Marcus James Henderson from the Marshall Tucker Band, and some other great players from Asheville, North Carolina, Jason DeCristofaro, Tyler Householder.
Can you tell us about your musical influences?
I sure can. My first musical influence on the bass was probably Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath, driving P-bass tone that he was able to get on all those old recordings. After that, my next influence is probably Bill Lesh from the Grateful Dead. And that led me to get into jazz, and I love jazz.
So what was your first major band you got into?
I got asked to substitute for a band called Dr. No, and they had a big gig coming up where they were going to open for Motorhead at the Palladium. I was in the band for like a year and a half and toured America. We were in a band and we were playing big gigs, and it was a pretty well-known punk band. But then when I was playing with Buckethead, we were opening shows for Primus and Mr. Bungle. And
sorry, how did you get involved with Buckethead?
My cousin was actually the singer of the band, and I guess they thought I was cool. I had dreadlocks and I was touring in a punk band, and I was a little more seasoned, and so we kind of hit it off, the three of us, and they were talking about, hey, we should play together, and I just was thinking like, yeah, that would be great. We got featured in Rolling Stone magazine. Mike Patton from Faith No More called us his favorite band, and there was this big buzz, and then the band broke up, just like so many other stories that you hear about. I continued working with different projects, and I think every project that I was in was going to make it. That's kind of like the thing that keeps you going when you're a struggling artist.
You gotta be optimistic, that's what you gotta do.
You gotta be optimistic, yeah. I went to the Los Angeles Music Academy because I realized that all the bands that I wanted to make it with just might not make it. And I still wanted to be a musician, so I learned how to read music, and I learned how to play different styles of music, and that was a great school. It's all run by professional musicians. So I did that. I graduated from the LA Music Academy, and I started freelancing. And after moving to Asheville, North Carolina, I got into a band that was kind of fashioned loosely after widespread panic. And one day we were in the vehicle driving to a gig, and they said, sometimes, we are the Artimus Pyle band also. And I said, well, who's Artimus Pyle? I don't know who that is. From California. And he said, well, he's the drummer of Lynyrd Skynyrd. Oh, well, that's cool, So one day we got the call. Artimus needed the band for a gig, and so I learned the songs, and Artimus wanted a good bass player, and they needed one, so they brought me in, even though I didn't have any Southern rock credentials whatsoever.
Tony Black.
Playing with Artimus over the years, I got to
Scott Rains.
Meet all those different bands, and get into that scene a little bit, and that's what led to me eventually joining the Marshall Tucker Band later on down the road.
So the bands you helped, you also supported bands on the road such as Primus, System of a Down, and Mr. Bungle, and as well as Lynyrd Skynyrd recently. So tell us about what kind of fun you had there, or what was cherished moments there.
Well, opening for Primus was incredibly humbling, because Les is one of the great bass players of the world, and that was just, it was very intimidating. After that, I kind of felt like taking up the trombone or something completely different, because he was so head and shoulders above, anything that I thought I could become, especially at that young age. Recently, yeah, we did many dates opening for Skinner.
So what are your cherished moments that you have that you really loved about being in rock and roll?
Playing the Fillmore West with Buckethead, that was a venue that I really wanted to play because of all the history that it had, especially with the psychedelic music of the 1960s. Playing the Grand Ole Opry with the Marshall Tucker Band, I think we played it at the Ryman and at the new place. A lot of cool stuff. I was in the Tucker Band for a little while, not too long, and we did a halftime show for the Carolina Panthers. And it was like being shot out of a cannon. We were doing a medley of three of the most popular songs. I think Fire on the Mountain and Can't You See, Heard It in the Love Song.
What are you doing now? You're working on a new album. Tell us what's going on there.
Yeah, I'm working on the Black Arts Ensemble album, which is modern jazz. And I'm working on the Anthony Edward Black album, which is, acoustic folk and country.
When are you looking to release your album?
Well, if the farm work lightens up, I'll be able to focus on it more than I am right now. With the Anthony Edward Black project, I'm able to do most of that on my own. And so I'll be moving forward on that a lot faster than with the Black Arts Ensemble project, hopefully by the end of the year. I'm releasing songs that are demos on my Facebook page, and I'm letting people hear them so they could give them the thumbs up or thumbs down, depending on whether they like them or not. I'm not working with the producer currently, so getting the external feedback is real important for me.
MusicXplorer definitely looks forward to hearing those songs come out and help promote that on our website and get that music heard. And then I'll be in touch with you. And have a good day, and thanks for talking.
Thank you, Dan. You take care now. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
She lies all the time, and I'm holding on like a cliche on the TV or a sad love song.